All right, so here's the scoop. The new Doomsday trailer just dropped like what, 11, 12 hours ago. I have been just fighting not to watch it. I want to get an actual initial first impression on this trailer and record it for the first time. And, I don't know if Disney's gonna take this down or tell me that I can't play their video. The point is, I think it's probably all over the internet right now. I'm sure everyone has reviewed it. I'm sure everyone has looked at it. But this will be my very first reaction watching this trailer. We're gonna see how it plays out.
Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter before the...
Okay, first thing is I noticed is that they're already introducing the X-Men. From the jump, I see they're introducing the X-Men and they're bringing Patrick Stewart back as Charles Xavier. They feel like this is just going to be too big a universe just from the get-go, but I'm gonna finish this out.
This day is done. We shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
Do you think that was Doctor Doom's voice? Because I noticed they've already featuring Doctor Doom. Well, obviously, it is Avengers Doomsday, so I imagine Doom was going to be featured. But now I'm looking at the Avengers Tower. Okay.
I've fought with many warriors in my time. They were far stronger than all of us put together, and they died. They died facing enemies and threats that scared me far less than this one. Everything that they sacrificed will be for nothing.
Hold up. Is Loki coming back? Okay, so this is going to be a spoiler alert, but I think it's crazy that they're showing Tom Hiddleston right now, which tells me that Loki's going to be making a comeback. Now, it could be a multiversal thing. It could be but I mean, at the same time, he is the one tying the multiverse together at this point. I actually watched the making of Loki season 2. Loki did quote unquote save the day or save the multiverse as we know it, right? And he saved the multiverse by becoming the entity that tied everything together into the great tree. I guess that the tree that's from the Norse folklore. But that was the catch. By becoming that, he ultimately couldn't leave. One of the things that directors pointed out afterwards, which I didn't really think about but made so much sense, is how much of a great sacrifice it was. Because he wanted to be with his friends. He wanted to seize the day and be with his friends, but he couldn't. He got the throne that he always thought he was destined for, but he couldn't celebrate it with anybody. He had to bear the burden completely alone. By him taking that throne, he saved the fabric of time. Kind of in a way, they used that to fulfill his role as the god of stories. Because if I understand it right, eventually he becomes like my mythology on Norse mythology is a little rough, but I think he becomes like the god of history and stories or something like that in Norse mythology. He actually ascends to that position. The fact that they kind of were able to translate it into a heroic venture through the multiverse was interesting. But now I'm seeing this trailer and I'm thinking is Loki coming back? There's so many questions.
If we do not stand together.
Not to stop it real quick. One more point. I do notice there's a lot of turning in this. So it looks like, what's his name? Nabor? The Hermes dude who had the winged feet. It looks like he's turning on Wakanda, and the actress who played, what's her name, Shuri? I thought she wasn't coming back. But I also heard things about how Thor is going to be like a main protagonist in this. Because, of course, when you think about it, he's like one of the few original Avengers left. I think Hulk is still around, but he's Smart Hulk now. He's not like Strong Hulk. He's Smart Hulk. He's not really in the game anymore. But there was Hulk, obviously Thor, Captain America. Captain America was out of the game. So Sam Wilson's the new Captain America. I don't know how he's going to play in all this. And then you got then they're introducing characters like the Fantastic Four and like, now you got the Thunderbolts. So you got a lot of new faces coming in, but like the OG team is pretty much gone. Now you got a new team coming into this.
Put aside your petty squabbles.
Oh, that's great.
Presume nothing except this. If you return, you will return as brothers and sisters.
Oh, there he is.
But mark my words. We're going to need a miracle.
Hey, pal.
It's not possible.
Are you kidding me? Okay. Chris Evans. Really? He looks a little bit older too, but wait. He's coming back as Captain America. Okay. Well, they said he was going to return, but all right. Why not? Okay, so... Oh, hey, buddy. Gosh, I got all the cats here today. So you got new Captain America, old Captain America coming back into the fray. You have Thor, and he's still got his short butch cut, which is weird. Like, why does he have the butch cut again? Because I'm thinking, like, didn't he grow his hair back out when he left the Guardians of the Galaxy? He didn't cut it again, did he? I don't remember him cutting it again in the last Thor movie. Anyway, so Doctor Doom is obviously going to be a very powerful enemy that even Thor is afraid of. And the fact that he was able, like, to stop Stormbreaker, you gotta keep in mind, this is an axe that Thanos, with the Infinity Stones, wasn't able to stop. And this man stopped Stormbreaker. I'm very curious to see how this comes out. I know that there's a lot of nostalgia behind this, but I'll be honest, I can't say that out of all the different Marvel movies that have been made, I don't think there's actually an Avengers movie that I didn't like. Somehow they're always able to pull it off. Somehow they're always able to kind of get it like right. So now I'm very excited. I'm kind of curious to see how this plays out. I'm curious to see how the mutants are going to play into this, because you're talking about a lot of characters. Like, don't get me wrong, in Avengers Endgame they had like 70 some characters, and they couldn't really like play all of them. They had to they just had them there as part of the army. They didn't really like show them on an individual level like that. But that was a lot of characters. That was a lot of different characters from different sections of the universe coming together. And you want to go down? Different sections of the universe, different story paths, and they all just got slammed together at the end, right? There wasn't really a lot of time to focus on any of them as like individuals or add to the story arc. You kind of had to just focus on the Avengers. But now you got Patrick Stewart returning as Charles Xavier. You got, Ian McKellen coming back as Magneto, but he looks like he's still got the beard and long hair like he's Gandalf, because he played Gandalf the Wizard. So I'm just like, it's gonna be hard not to see him as Gandalf in that movie, because Magneto was always a clean-shaven, kind of short-haired kind of guy. At least I think he had short hair, but he definitely was clean-shaven. So to think of him as with a beard and long hair like he did when he played Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, it's going to be kind of hard to unsee that.
You shall not pass!
I think he's going to have to shave, because otherwise he's not going to sell the Magneto look. It's going to be interesting to see the big reveal when everyone finds out that it's Tony Stark behind the mask. Now you're kind of wondering what kind of character this is that he becomes the villain. And he's going to be a main villain at that. But it's coming out December 18th. I may have to gird up and I don't think I'll do it Friday. I think I'll hit it up Sunday before everything goes crazy. But it's so hard to not get an Avengers movie right. The one thing Marvel has done is they did a fantastic job with the Avengers movies. They weren't all gold, but they were all really good to watch. So I felt like, if nothing else, they always got those right. If they do mess it up, it'll be the first Avengers movie I've seen them mess up. Obviously, they're bringing back a lot of old casts. And I'm looking down here, and I'm seeing there's a thumbnail for Snarky J saying that it's pure nostalgic bait in a thumbnail. And I'm thinking about it. She's I'm gonna watch that next, and she's probably gonna say that, kind of give her 2 cents about the nostalgic bait. And I'm like, you know what? She's right. With all the cameos in there, I mean, it's on the verge of being the next Ready Player One. That movie was filled with so much nostalgia from the 80s, and it's like literally catered to every tail end Gen Xer like myself, and every early end millennial who grew up in the 80s, and just like, what do you want? Yeah, it's nostalgia. I mean, it's like the Masters of the Universe movie. I only wanted to see it because I grew up watching those cartoons. I grew up watching He-Man and Skeletor do battle, and I love campy movies. The idea of seeing a Masters of the Universe movie, a legit Masters of the Universe movie with some cartoony feel to it and a little bit of realism, yeah, that speaks to me, because that's the memories I grew up with as a child. And the same thing, the Avengers was the first successful superhero team-ups that made it into cinema. None of the earlier Marvel, like the first set of Hulks, the first Fantastic Fours, even X-Men wasn't doing good because everyone was too afraid to cater to the nostalgia, the kiddish looking uniforms, as they would call it. That's the reason why they didn't do Wolverine in a yellow spandex for years, because a lot of directors were scared to make it too childlike. But that was the thing, is that's what we wanted. We wanted the nostalgia. Obviously, we want it to look like an adaptation of it being more real, but that's what we wanted. We wanted the campy nostalgia. But anyway, I went off on a whole tangent on that. I don't know. I'm excited. and I hope you're excited too. But if not, we'll see what happens when it comes out. Until then, later, guys.